Hey everyone, and welcome to another one of our videos. Today we're going to be doing a remote start installation on my 2011 F250. Same process should apply for any of the 2011 to 2016 trucks, and this is going to be using Ford's OEM remote start kit. So this is Ford part number as a kit, BC3Z19G364-A, and this kit includes what you see here, other than the instructions. These I printed out from online, but includes the remote start antenna, a very simple wiring harness for the antenna, and then a package of 2 keys, which are your remote start capable keys right there. And so this should be a pretty darn straightforward installation. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it in terms of the mechanical, and then show you the programming stage of this. What we won't show in this video is actually remote starting the truck. There's really nothing to see there, or cutting of the keys or programming of the keys, because I do still need to get these keys cut. I don't have them cut right now, and I won't for a little while, but I want to go ahead and get the antenna and everything into place. So we're not going to show you to program the keys, and we're not going to show you to cut the keys, obviously. Both of those can be and really should be done by a locksmith or a dealership. Take your pick of which one. The programming you can do yourself if you have a 4-scan system, but you're going to need that system. You will need that system to do the programming of and enabling of the remote start, but programming keys is a different subset of that system, and we're not going to cover that in today's video. Anyway, all of that said, I'm going to go ahead, hop into the truck, and show you what we're going to do. Alrighty, so here in the cab of the truck, I've already got some of the work started, but I'll show you what I've done so far. This truck being a 2011, I think there's a few things that vary from the 2015 and 16 that are referenced in the instructions. The kit that I bought is advertised for 2011 to 16. They probably came out with the instructions that I'm following, at least for the later trucks, obviously, by the year that's on the instructions. That said, I was able to figure it out. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll show you in detail kind of what I did here. So you're going to be working behind the glove box. You're going to want to take everything out of there, of course. It sounds like on some of the trucks, there's 2 stoppers for the glove box. In the case of mine, there's only 1. So if I push that guy over and pull the box down, we have access to wiring and the HVAC box and everything that's back here. And so you can see where we started is over here, and you can see some of this new wiring right here is the antenna wire that we had on the workbench earlier. I'll show you how I set this guy up, but we're going to start with where we plug it in, and that's into the TPM module, which is this guy right here, and that is into the gray plug that's right there with the kind of black square mark on it. Pretty simple for us to connect to that. We just plug in. There's not a filler plug or anything. It just clicks right into place there. And so you can see our connection is now made. Now the way I've got this routed is coming down from the TPM module and up to a hold down point, which is where I attach the white push in. This is where it differs from the instructions. In the instructions it says that this white push pin attaches to the back side of the TPM bracket. Well, there's no hole in the back side of the TPM bracket for a little Christmas tree clip to go into, and so I put it here where there happens to be a hole. What I did to do that was I actually had to pull some slack through this clip here. There was a bunch between this and the next one, which I'll show you in a second, but I had to pull some of the slack through, which I can actually now pull a little bit back out of just to even up the wiring a little bit. Now this right here is going to be a rub point in my case, so what I'm going to do is throw a little bit of wire sleeve potentially over this. The wire is just touching plastic and plastic, but I probably throw a little bit of mesh sleeve over that just to make sure that we don't have any abrasion happen over time. From there, the wire runs up here to the designated wiring points, basically, from here on out. And so we've got designated wiring point right here where we clip a Christmas tree in. It goes up and over to the next one, which is right here. This follows to the next one, which is right here. That follows to behind this bracket that's into the airbag. The next one, which is right there. So you can see in reference to that cutout. That follows to the next one, which is right here. So about mid big cutout, and then drops into place right here. The wire extends to here, and then this is where we're going to terminate into our antenna. And that's going to be our last step, is going to be throwing in that antenna and getting that all good to go. Showing you from the other side, you don't need to remove the side over here, but if I'm able to get my hand up in here to show you, and my camera inside to show you, the wiring on the side is right here, back here, and this is where it goes down and over to the TPM module. I apologize for the poor camera work there, but I'm trying to get a shot in a very, very tight spot in my case. So we've got all of our work done here in terms of wiring and attachment of wiring. Now it just boils down to the antenna and the programming. Alrighty, so we're back here on the workbench, and I just want to show you how I'm going to get this thing attached here so I can show you out in the open and easily instead of in the confines of under the dash. So mounting location is going to be per the instructions. However, I'm going to mount this a little bit differently from how the instructions recommend, because the instructions recommend you just zip tie this into place, which seems really janky. That's not something that I would expect out of an OEM part, and from what I see on here, there's some really nice threaded mounting holes that we should be able to utilize with some 632 screws and some washers in the existing mounting locations, such that we can mount this in a much more factory seeming manner. Seems very odd that they would recommend in the actual Ford instructions to zip tie this into place. So there's a couple holes that line up with those holes in the dash support bar, and the connectors lines up right here with the connector on the antenna. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy plopped into place per the instructions, and then move forward with finalizing the installation from there. Alrighty, so we're back here looking at the behind the glove box area, and if we dip the camera down under here, you can see our, again, wire that we installed going right into our antenna there, and you can see screw there, screw right here, and if you'd like, you could also put either some push pin type retainers through here, or like the instructions say, zip tie through this hole and the corresponding one right over here on the other side. But with this installed, screwed into place, and plugged in, our physical installation, our hardware installation is done. So at this point, we're ready to actually button back up, push the glove box back into place, shut it, and move on to the programming portion. Alrighty, so now we're on to programming, and I'm going to be using, as usual with any of my videos, if you've watched my other ones, ForeScan to do my programming on this truck. So, like I said, we're not going to cover the key programming because I need to get the keys cut. I'm going to just go ahead and have a locksmith do that. If I need to do any touch-ups or anything there, I'll do them at that point. You can do it with ForeScan. You can do the PATS key programming, but that's not something that I'm going to cover in this video. But I'm going to show you how to set up the couple different modules that you need to address in order to get remote start functioning 100% like factory on the truck. So in ForeScan, we will go into the module programming, and we're going to start with body control module. Doesn't really matter where you start, but we're going to start here. We're going to go into the programming section here and scroll down to remote start. You can see remote start is now enabled. This was disabled. This I swapped over to enabled, and we are ready to rock and roll on the body control module side of things once we enable that. So to enable that, you'd click on it, hit edit selected, change it from disabled to enabled, and then write that function and follow the instructions on the screen. Don't need to do that because I do already have mine enabled. The other thing that we need to do is program the instrument panel control module, which is the IPC. If we go into this one, this is a normal error for my particular truck. Not sure why the voltage at the panel, instrument control panel is lower, whatever. Not a big deal, at least to me. And in here, same thing. We'll go down to the R's for remote start, and you can see that this is enabled. What this will do is tie everything together and allow you to edit remote start functionality from within the instrument panel itself. So once we do that, again, you'll edit selected, go to enabled, write that, follow the on-screen instructions to finalize, and then go ahead and exit out. What I always like to do too, to make sure that I don't have any conflicting programming, is disconnect from the vehicle using the little disconnect button down there, and then reconnect. And so once I've done that, in this case you can see it found all of my modules, no DTCs. Everything as far as programming goes is compatible with one another. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll see that as I stage through the programming process, once I've programmed one module, let's say the body control module, but the instrument panel control module isn't programmed yet, the instrument panel control module will complain about an incompatible programming, conflicting with the body control module. So again, just make sure that you double check, make sure you don't need to tweak anything else. If you have a simple truck, and probably any of the trucks, this should be the only two things that you need to do. That said, to show you what things look like in the instrument panel, now, if I go to setup on the steering wheel, and I have the basic panel here, it's different if you have the color screen. If I go to setup and scroll through setup options, you'll see I now have a remote start option. If I press reset to go into that, I can either turn remote start on and off and change the time that it is set for. And then that's it. We're able to edit the remote start settings. If I go back into that, we should show that it took my setting, although I don't know if I hit that correctly, to be honest. No, I did not. Perfect. And so that setting should be taken now, and it should, whenever I remote start for 15 minutes. Pretty straightforward as far as the setup and everything goes here. So last step in the process, again, for me, is going to be going and getting some keys cut, and then once they're programmed, remote start should work as factory. Click lock, double click the remote start button, truck starts remotely. It's beautiful, it's great, everyone's happy. Super easy to add this. This is, with filming, probably a 30-minute, 45-minute process that I put into this, and that's with me figuring out the routing on the 2011. Again, I don't know how different the later trucks are, if they are different at all, or if the instructions are just a little obscure. Either way, we got it done, got it taken care of, and we're good to go now at this point. With that, I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any comments or questions below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.